Hey everyone, welcome back. Alright, this is my hold on a sec. Right. This is my review of Free Iwatobi Swim Club episode 7 entitled One Style Final. Alright. As the prefectural tournament draws closer, the Iwatobi High Swim Club starts improving their swim times. Elsewhere, Rin awakens in a frenzied state after having a nightmare involving Haruka and his father in his younger years. Afterwards, a training Ichiro Nitori grows upset that Rin would limit himself to the freestyle event when he possesses far greater potential. When Ichiro helps Rin train that night, the former laments his inability to participate in the 100-meter event, but Rin assures him that his endurance is better suited for the 400-meter race. Afterwards, Rin reveals to him the story of his late father. Rin explains that his father was the best athlete in the past Iwatobi Swim Club and aspired to become an Olympic swimmer. However, his dream was never realized after he settled down to a married life as a fisherman and was hence killed when a typhoon struck his boat late one summer. Following his father's death, Rin adopted his dream but explains that Haruka is the only thing standing in his way of moving forward as an athlete, since he lost to Haruka despite all his training in addition to their differing reasons for swimming. Finally, on the day of the tournament, Go reveals that both Haruka and Rin are competing in the fourth freestyle heat and are in neighboring lanes due to having similar qualifying times, as explained by Makoto. As Haruka leaves to get ready, he encounters Rin at the lockers where their rivalry continues. Finally, as the race begins, Rin immediately starts pulling ahead of Haruka. In the first leg, Haruka starts catching up as they make the turn into the second leg, and they both seem to be neck and neck towards the finish. However, much to his friend's shock, Haruka places second, with Rin being the victor, and advances to the next round. As Rin exits the pool, he declares that his win means that he will never swim with Haruka again, leaving the latter in utter shock. Alright, and that basically sums up what happened in this episode. Alright, now let's get into the review. First off, things I liked. Obviously, the animation was perfect. I'll keep reiterating that in every review, because the animation is fucking flawless, period. Alright, well, like, it really is. Alright, and I also loved hearing about Rin's backstory, or at least his backstory with his father in this episode. Now, that's kind of a double-edged sword in this episode, I felt, because that's going to lead into my major complaint in this episode, but I did love hearing about it, which is basically Rin's incentive to want to continue swimming like this, but it still doesn't explain his attitude towards everyone else. And let me explain. Alright, I'll try to explain. It's kind of confusing even for me, so I'll try to explain this to the best of my ability, this complaint to the best of my ability. Basically, it explains his backstory with his father, and explains the fact that he wants to become an Olympic level swimmer in his father's place, which is all fine and dandy. Alright, but it still doesn't explain his attitude towards his friends. I mean, why did he decide to be so cold towards all of his friends, especially Haruka, just because of what happened to his father, it would seem like at this point? I mean, we were shown flashbacks earlier on in the series that showed him having a great time with his friend. All four of them, obviously that new guy not included, were really good friends as a kid, swimming. But as kids when they were swimming, but now it seems like he's rejected all of them, including Haruka, because of what happened to his father. And furthermore, it doesn't even explain if his father was alive when they were swimming together or not. It doesn't even have the courtesy to explain that, so you're left at a complete, like, it just doesn't make any sense. And maybe they'll explain this later on, but I felt they should have probably cut out some of the other less interesting stuff in this episode and tried to explain that a little bit better. Alright, because I just was left really confused, and if that's the only reason Rin's doing this, then acting like this, then yeah, shitty ass character all around. I could be completely wrong, but that's just my assessment of him up to this point. Alright, because I don't know, I'm having a little bit of trouble explaining this, but it's like there has to be another reason that he's shutting out all his friends, pretty much shutting out his own sister. I mean, he's shown a little bit of care for her when he walked her back a few episodes ago and whatnot, but for the most part he's been shutting her out as well. It's like, and like I said before, it doesn't even when they were swimming together as kids or not. Alright, so yeah, but anyways, I guess that's about it for this though. That's really my biggest complaint right there, so, about this episode. And who knows, they may clear it up later on in this series. So yeah, but anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See you after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.